Hello, thanks for joining me again. Today I'm going to tie a small variation on the dial back. I call it Als Diawl Bach because I got it off of Alan Ward many years ago. In the vise I have a Hanak 200 barbless hook at size 10, but I usually tie this fly in size 12s and 14s. I'm going to add some super glue at the shank of the hook, as I'm going to be using some of the Fish On Ultimate Tying Silk, and it has very similar qualities to the Vivas. It's quite slippy. This is the copper brown. You can't see the label, but there's the colour. And I'm just going to start back from the eye and bring my thread up the shank of the hook. I've maybe been a wee bit over generous with my super glue. So I've brought that up to where the barb would be, and I'm going to take away my waste like so. First thing that's got to go on then is some tailing fibres, and I'm just using this cock hackle. You can see it's quite a deep gingery colour. I really like it, and I've already selected a strand, and I'm going to rip maybe a dozen or so feathers at a 45-degree angle. Then if I come in and pinch where I've ripped them, it just brings all the fibres in line at the end. I want it about half the length of the body, so I'm going to come on, do one turn, had a quick look there and I'm happy with that. Then before I go up any further, I'm just going to trim away that, and then the reason I've left this waist on is I want to keep the body as even as I can, make less work for myself later with thread turns. So I've brought that up and tidy up the front. Now I'm fairly happy with the spread of feathers I've got in these fibres at the back, so I'm going to leave that be. Next thing then, I'm going to add the body material. It's prismatic tinsel and it's a red, it's basically holographic tinsel. I don't know why they call it prismatic. Holographic's a much better word. So I've already taken a little strand off here, and I'm going to catch that in. Like so. Okay. Next thing then, I'm going to use some stripped peacock herring. This is from Troutline. It's super long, but I don't need this kind of length, so I've already selected a feather and trimmed it to my needs. Now, this is the second attempt at this video because I didn't check that I had a good fibre, and what happened is it snapped when I was doing it. The language was colourful, but you're not going to get to see that bit. So what I'm going to do is catch that in at my trimmed end, like so. And then to protect that, I'm going to use some Vineyards fine gold wire. It's number 27 if you're interested. It's just a gold wire. Quite thin though, which is what I want for this fly. And I'm going to run that up the entire length of the body. Again, it's to do with keeping the body a nice even shape. I'm going to catch that in there, and then I can bring my whole show down the bottom here. Okay, so before I bring my body rib up, I'm just going to add a layer of super glue to the shank. It's not necessary because the wire rib will protect it, but I'm just a belts and braces guy, and if I can make the fly just last a little bit longer by adding a touch of super glue now, all the better. So catch that in. When you're bringing this up, it's really important not to catch the point of your hook, because even the slightest nick puts a little tear in, and subsequently you end up ripping your body material, and often it's too short to recover, so you've got to start again, which can be a little frustrating. So I'm bringing that over now, and before I clamp down on it properly, I'm going to have a look at your side to make sure that I've got good coverage, and if I haven't, I can simply undo it and go back, but that looks okay to me. So I'll just lock my vise in place again, get a couple of wraps in, come in with your scissors and just take away the excess. Okay, so next to come is the peacock herring, and what I'm going to do is bring that towards me, and I want to try and get it nice and even and at a slight angle. So that's going quite well. Once I've caught it in, I can make sure that's bedded down. Now for belts and braces, you can bend it backwards, catch a couple of turns in, and you should be able to just pull that away. Okay, so I brought that towards myself. The wire rib I'm going to take in the opposite direction, across at a different angle, to give it a lattice effect, or lattice effect, however you pronounce it. Like so, and that's looking quite nice, all the way at the front, and I can catch that in. So far so good, nearly. Once I've got that in place, I can wind that away, and I've got the body of my fly now. Now the reason we've got all this materials and intricacy is because in the good old days we didn't have UV varnishes and stuff, so to protect the quill we used the wire rib, and it does add a little something to the fly as well. Okay, next I'm going to add some jungle cock eyes. I don't think we've used jungle cocks in any of my videos before, but I've got a cape here and I've already selected an eye from it. Now a lot of the jungle cock capes you buy, there'll be a little natural split, and all you've got to do with that really is encourage it open. So before I lash on my jungle cock eye, I'm going to add a little bit of wax just to get a bit of grip on it, because the eye itself is quite a slidey material. So I'm just going to add the bit of wax, then encourage the split. Excuse my fingers. I'm just going to open my vise up so I can see that I've got my eyes looking quite good on your side, and it looks exactly the same on my side. So once I've done that, I can then concentrate on just making sure it doesn't go anywhere. Then I can come in, excuse my fingers, all I'm doing, I know you can't see, is I'm just trimming up the front of the fly here. Okay, I'm fairly happy with that, and then what I can do is start from the eye of the hook, building up a little head. So I'm not quite finished. I've got to put my throat hackles in. I'm going to use the same feather as I used for the tail. Again, I'll take a clump, maybe 10 or so, rip it off at a 45-degree angle, and I could turn my vise upside down to apply these, but I want them just shy the length of my body, just shy. So I've measured that up. Again, my fingers are in the way, I apologise. When you've got it like this, I can then bring it round in front of the eye, so I know it's underneath now, and catch that in. make sure your thread is well back. So at the top of the head, I've moved my thread to there. And what I'm going to do, if I do it like this you'll see better, is keep my thread out the way and take away my waste. Now I could just finish this off with a copper brown thread, but I like the head to be red, so I'm using my Pro marker, the ruby red, and I'm just going to colour that up. Again, some Solaris UV resin, going to catch that in just to finish the fly off. Then I can concentrate on making a nice neat head like so. Now I may have applied a little too much varnish, so what I'm going to do is the feather I've been using, I'll just strip that to leave myself an end like this. Before I cure it, pop that through, and that will clean the eye out from any unwanted resin. Then I can come with my UV torch and cure it. Now, as I said earlier, this is on the big side for this fly for my money. I would recommend you tie them in 10s and 12s. Because it's such a light nymph, it will sit up in the higher layers of the water, and fish just smash this. It's a great little nymph. Definitely worth considering. I hope that's been of some use to you. Thanks very much for watching.